to another edition of the Think Well podcast, where hopefully you'll find that the thinking is done well. Please remember to subscribe so that you can engage in our unique currency of thought that's going to help you to maneuver through your own unique situations. And on this edition, we're going to be looking at an interaction between a guy called Mynameischyna, who is a content creator, and he mostly covers things to do with Black popular culture, Black popular cultural things. That tends to be the space that he inhabits, and he posts on a number of different things within Black popular culture. I'm late on this, okay? This was about a year ago, but it was an interaction that I found particularly pertinent in terms of racism. He was being interviewed by some guys, and he was talking about sort of, the work that he does and why he was at the award show, etc., etc. And in comes a white female called Celestia Barby or something like that. Celestia Barby, who is a life coach. She's a coach, and she has her own agency. I think it's called the Role Model Agency or something like that. And she used to be, I think, addicted to drugs. She used to be a drug addict, and she's turned her life around. And she now coaches people, life coaching, based on her experiences, which I think is a very important thing that she does. And I think that the work that she'll be doing there will be incredibly important. Now, this was a year ago. Let me emphasize that this was a year ago. I've only just seen this now. So obviously people may have moved on. They may have learnt from their lessons, etc. So I don't want to cause trouble where none exists. But I just think that this interaction was something that I wanted to discuss in terms of the wider context of what racism actually is. So in this particular scene, Celestia Barby enters the fray, and she makes what she calls banter in terms of saying that my name is Chyna, and there's another friend that he's with, all black men, and obviously the black men that are filming, that are interviewing. And she says, if I stumbled on a drug deal or something like that. But anyway, let's have a look, and then we'll have a discussion after. Let's have a look.
Well, I would say...
Drug deal.
You know, that was very stereotypical.
Isn't it? Very stereotypical still.
Why did you shoot to drug deal first? But why? Why did you shoot to a corporate deal? Why did you shoot? Why did you shoot to drug deal?
It's banter.
It's not. No, wait. Hold on. I'm in a bow tie, I'm in a pink shirt, and you spoke about drug deals.
If you know the personality.
No, but why did you go to that? Why was that your?
Because it was funny and it made you all laugh. He cracked.
No, that was no.
Okay, as the workers.
No, keep this in. Why did you do that?
Because it was dark.
What was dark?
And I couldn't see you. Yeah?
Do you realise what you're doing? Hey, get this camera on her. Get this camera on her.
Whenever you sell drugs, you sell it at night time.
Sell drugs.
Through windows in the dark.
I think you've been on drugs, darling. Sell drugs.
I used to be on drugs for 7 years. Now I make a difference with the community.
I can tell.
I used to do drugs.
I can tell.
Now
yeah.
I don't. It was a joke. Don't take it to heart.
It's not a joke.
I apologise.
Very professional men, you see me.
I apologise if you took it.
I didn't take it to heart. I just used it as an example. Why did you reach? Why was that your go-to?
It was banter.
But why was you your banter? Why was?
Because I'm drunk, and it was banter.
Interesting. It's okay.
If you know my personality.
It's okay. I don't know your personality. I've never met you. I just met you now.
Well, I'm apologise that
it's fine, but
that way.
I just found it interesting.
About race. It was a racist.
I didn't say anything. Wow, why are we bringing up race into this?
Because I feel like that's how you're taking it.
No, you're doing victim mentality. You know what this is? This is the white female complex. Like, you're bringing race into things. I've not spoken about race.
So why did you take it offensive then?
Because you spoke about drug deals when I'm in a shirt and bow tie in an award show.
Because it was banter.
But it's not funny though.
But it was funny.
But it's not funny. I didn't find it funny.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't find it funny, but that's my personality.
Well, I don't care about you, but you're extremely rude.
Well, I apologise full time.
I don't accept your apology. I don't have to.
Okay, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
I didn't find it funny.
You haven't got drugs in your pocket, have you?
Guys, I want you guys to run this clip.
There's no drugs on the map.
I really want you to run this
clip.
Not
got any drugs.
Guys, you got a viral clip here, you know.
I'm sorry, I had to
Wow,
to me,
guys,
so I do apologise.
I'm at the Creative Awards. My name is Chyna. I'm a content creator. I'm seeing on Backtrack Season 6. Everybody knows who I am. I've been on the red carpet doing press. Shout out to Monique for inviting me here. This woman, these gentlemen here interviewing me. They asked me earlier on, can they do it? There's some young men and I really want to help them with the content, right? This woman has come into and made a joke about drugs.
Was banter.
But it's not banter.
It was when you walked into the conversation.
Yeah, so my thing is this. It's just an example of how they see us. Okay, unless you want to talk about race, no one has spoke about race. It's how they see us.
I've got a role model academy. I have a life coaching practice.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Where I change people's lives who take drugs.
All right, darling.
That's what I do for a living.
All right, respectfully.
I help people, the youth, lift their spirit and get away from drugs.
Okay,
that's what I do for a living.
But I would like to continue my interview.
Banter.
Okay.
It was a joke.
But I would like to continue
my... Sorry, you took it so seriously.
But
you really took it seriously.
I would like to continue my interview.
All you do is apologise to the
I would like to continue my interview.
Nobody behind the camera. Anybody who comes to social media, I've posted 25,000 times, and I'm a very inspirational person. I have met millions of people in life, and I apologise.
Yes. Okay. I would just like to get back to the interview.
Right, I'm going to go for a wee.
Thank you.
All I did, basically, when I'm drinking, I went like this. I went like this, and from there, it's very light in that room. Very light.
And it's very dark over here.
Very light. It's very dark here. So I went from light
extremely dark.
to dark.
Yeah.
But it's fucking light. There's so light in that room that when I came in here, it was so
ladies,
dark.
all right.
And that's why I put my camera on straight away to lift you up. To put you on light.
Wow.
Why did I put my camera on? Why did I do
this is going to go shade bar. This one got more shade bar. This one.
Because I like to put
this one makes you think. This one makes things.
It's so bright in that room. It's so fucking bright in there.
Can we wrap it up?
Yeah, and I didn't think that the camera was doing you a
Okay.
I thought that was better.
All right.
Yeah?
But now I feel like you're harassing us, okay? Could you please leave now? We've asked you nicely, okay? Could you please go?
I'm harassing.
Yeah, you are. You are harassing us. We've asked you to leave. No, we've asked you to leave though. You've been annoying. We're doing an interview and you're being annoying. We've asked you nicely, okay? All right?
What are you going to do? You're going to grab me up the car?
No.
Don't fucking talk to me like that, then you dick.
Guys, you got it all, yeah? Guys, I need that. I need every single one of those clips because I want to show men what you deal with. What are you going to do? You're going to grab me up. Did you know here would be racist? Do you know here? Listen, I want you to run this clip, my guy. This is what men deal with. We're in a shirt and tie, an award show. I'm in a pink shirt, bro. I'm in a pink shirt and we're still dangerous. Like, what's going on?
Oh my God.
I'm in a pink shirt.
So having had a look at that, my thoughts are that being drunk is no excuse. Being drunk, let's break it down. Being drunk, which is the state that she's in, she's inebriated, is not something that you can say is responsible for racism. That just doesn't work. Let's just deal with that in and of itself. So being drunk doesn't excuse or isn't an explanation as to the origin of racism. Let's deal with origin. That's the clearest, best way, the most coherent way to deal with this situation, which I think happens over and over again. People blame racism on banter, people blame it on being drunk, on a myriad of different factors, okay, to relieve themselves of responsibility. And so we need to deal with origin. That's the best way. Right. Being drunk doesn't put things in your head, okay? And I've said this on a different post. We're not plugged into the matrix. We're not loading up digital training courses in military kung fu or whatever into our brains. We're not putting new things in there. Being drunk doesn't load new information into your brain. Okay? It's incapable of doing it. It doesn't load new information into your brain. That's not what alcohol does. We need to be very clear on that specific thing. Being drunk, alcohol doesn't input new information into your brain that wasn't already there. It doesn't do it. That's not what it does. You don't drink alcohol and then suddenly you can fly an aircraft. You don't drink alcohol and then become an expert barrister. You don't drink alcohol and become an expert plumber. You don't drink alcohol and become an expert electrician. Okay? No. You don't drink alcohol and then suddenly be able to speak Mandarin. Yeah? Or become a Michelin star chef from alcohol. I think there'd be a far higher price tag on it than that if it was able to do it. It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that, okay? That's not what it does. So let's just stop blaming alcohol for racism. We need to stop it now. That's my line of reasoning. Origin. The origin of racism is learned over time. It is something that you have learned that is embedded in your psyche that has remained there and inhabits the subconscious or conscious space inside of your brain. And then what will happen as you become drunk is that your inhibitions lower. Okay. And the part of your brain that you wouldn't engage, whether it's subconscious or conscious, that you wouldn't engage because you are socially aware and you understand that what is in your brain is racism and that it is not something that is socially accepted. And so you are aware of that, okay? But when you're drunk, your inhibitions come down and you engage in things, okay, that are not socially acceptable many of the time. And so this racism comes to the forefront of your brain. And because your inhibitions are low, you think that you can get away with it and blame it on alcohol. But it's something that is embedded there, that is embedded maybe from childhood. Maybe you grew up in a racist household with parents, or maybe you hung around racist friends. Maybe you heard it at a football match, you hung around with people. But somewhere in your social interactions, you've learned and picked up racism and you understand the social context of it. So this Celestia Barby now has come to these guys and has blurted out, as we've seen, drug deal. Is this a drug deal? Now, she was a drug addict before, so I don't know if the people supplying her drugs were melanated people or not. I can't comment on that. But if she's going to these men and saying drug deal, it doesn't matter. There's some sort of stereotype going on there. And we know that there is a link, a stereotypical link with black men and drugs. Okay, that's the most obvious stereotype that exists there. Black people and drug dealing. Okay, that black men are drug dealers. Okay, and of course black men have had an intrinsic relationship with drug dealing. To say that that isn't the case would be false, because that has happened in impoverished neighborhoods, and drug dealing has been a part of what has gone on in particular neighborhoods with black men as a particular demographic in terms of that process. And I'm not going to go to the bottom of or the roots of that now, because that's a separate debate as to why that happens. But the assumption is that then all black men are drug dealers. And that is stereotypical and that is racist, because not all black men are drug dealers. Okay? And we can't assume that an entire race of millions, or maybe even a billion amount of people are all one thing. That is racism. Okay? And it removes the ability of people to advance and to move forward and to do good and to evolve out of a particular stage, because we don't know what the root cause of a particular behavior is. And to be stereotypical is racism. So she's come in, she's barged in and talking about drug deals, and then said, but I'm drunk and it's my personality. And said, oh, but it's a joke, you're laughing, it's cracking you up. Nobody was laughing at all. Nobody was laughing at that. It was immediately a cringeworthy affair, which is how I would have felt. I would have felt immediately under attack. It's racist. I would have felt an embarrassment. I would have felt the need I would have felt embarrassed and I would have felt bad about that whole situation. You can't feel good about it. Oh, is this a drug deal? How am I meant to find that funny from the perspective of a black person that is the subject of racism and that has probably been the subject of racist experiences in his life, or may have encountered it? Or even if I've not encountered racism myself, at least I'm aware of racism and aware of these racial stereotypes. That is not something that is nice. That is not nice at all. And that is not humorous for me and shouldn't be perceived, or you shouldn't be thinking that that would be humorous for somebody. Okay? We're not doing that. Okay? That is offensive. Drug deal. Okay? Drug deal. Oh, it's just a joke. And then she betrays herself even further. Because then she says, I was in a light room and I had my camera on and it's very dark over here. It's very dark. Almost intimating that she can't see them because of their melanated skin. And it talks about when the light on her camera's on, talks about, oh, so I thought I would lift you up. I'm going to lift you up with the light on my camera because you're dark, not only in skin tone, but the intimation is that you are dark of spirit. You are dark creatures, externally and internally, and I need to lift you up. You are in need of my whiteness in order to the whiteness of my skin and of the flash on my camera in order to lift you up. What is that? That was the ultimate one. Then when the guy said that she's being harassed and say, you're harassing us, go away, she then switches and then betrays herself, I feel, in that. And then she says, oh, what are you going to do? Grip me up. Then you deliberately go into your stereotype because you're angry and exhibit even more racism. And then swear at them. So you've betrayed yourself all along. And this statement of I'm not racist and it was joking is revealed in the end behavior of deliberately talking about, oh, you're going to grab me up. Black stereotypes. So the racism is absolutely there. Now, I'll pause there because this was a year ago and this person may have changed and evolved. So I don't want her to be judged necessarily now on how she was then, because I saw a Instagram post that I think she's done 3 days ago where she's talking about you are more. You are more than what you are in a picture. You're more than you are in a video. You are more than you were yesterday. You are more than what the closest person thinks to you. You are more. So I'd like to think that in that statement that she's made 3 days ago, that she realised that black men are more than the pictures that you see, are more than the videos that we watch, are more than the newspaper articles, are more than the historically racist literatures that have been read, are more than the depictions that were laid out during the period of enlightenment and the age of reason, are more than slavery, are more than stereotypes, are more than the depictions of racists. Okay? So let's hope that that's her mindset now. But I wanted to highlight it because in case there's any other people out there that have been racist and use alcohol as a excuse, I needed to make that very clear that it doesn't put new information in your brain. It doesn't upload new skills, new things into your brain. You can't suddenly, do things or be an expert in things because you've drunk alcohol. It doesn't upload new information. It simply brings to the forefront of your mind that which is already embedded subconsciously in your psyche. That's what it does. And lowers your inhibitions to the point where you now expose what is in your subconscious or your conscious. That you now feel comfortable enough to be able to do that, and you can blame it on alcohol. So the racism was definitely there. Whether this Celestia Barby has now done the work to work on that racism and has apologized or whatever, communicated with My Name is Chyna and made it good, I'm not sure what's going on there. But in that video, it was something that happens time and time again with people getting drunk, having racist rants, being stereotypical, really revealing what is in their subconscious and what is in their conscious through alcohol, calling it banter. It's not banter. Have respect for people. Why should we have to tolerate your racism because you're drunk and you find that you want to have an outburst? What is so special about you? What privileged space do you inhabit where we need to bow and be uncomfortable and be upset and be embarrassed in order to facilitate your drunken behavior? Why must we do that? To make you feel comfortable at our expense as black people? That is outrageous. It's my personality. Who invited you here? Who invited you over to do that? Why are we facilitating you? Why are we the minstrel show to entertain you? Because you find it entertaining to engage us in that racist way. Who are you to barge in like that? Why are you colonizing that space? That is the colonization of that space that they were in. You've colonized that space and you've injected your racism in that colonial space, okay? Grossly out of order and racist to the core. Now, it was a year ago, and I'm sure that she's worked on herself. I'd like to think so as a coach, and she's done the work and maybe apologies have been made. So this is not me trying to say she should be cancelled or to paint her as a villain. I simply wanted to highlight that as completely unacceptable behaviour at the time. And I'm sure that the work has been done. But she really needs to have a look at that, especially as a life coach that's helping people. People have not only been traumatised by drug use. People have also been traumatised by racism. And it's a long history, and it's painful, and it's hurtful, and it's deep, and it's not nice. Please remove that from your mode of entertainment. We're not here for your entertainment. We're not going to be abused by people for their entertainment. Whether you're white or not, that is a privilege you don't have. Okay? That we need to bow down to that form of entertainment. That's abuse of the highest order. And she did apologise at the time, but then betrayed herself later on and talked about gripping people up. Should have just apologised and kept it moving. Anyway, I wanted to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into that anymore, but I wanted to highlight that because people are blaming alcohol and these things on being drunk and so on and so forth. And I don't think that is an excuse at all for the reasons that I've pointed out. Please leave your comments below and I'll see you on the next one. You take care. Bye-bye.